being an internet person, I won't call myself a celebrity, but as a person that displays themselves online for other people, you learn a lot. And one of those things you learn is that people's opinions vary dramatically. So, just like in the 5 comments I've gotten on YouTube, one of them said, talking about my switcher back here, one of the comments said, "That's disgusting. I would never get FUT surgery. Those scars are hideous." You know, like basically just like, yeah, he was like, "I saw this guy one time who had FUT surgery, and his scars are hideous, and your scars are hideous." And so that was interesting. And then there was a guy like 2 comments later, you know, like I think it was the same video or the next day's video, and he said, "Hey man, your FUT scars look really cool." I was like, man, it's crazy the difference of opinion, which is cool. It's great. I thought this was interesting. I was actually getting coffee this morning, and there was a lady standing next to me, and she saw my scars. These FUT scars back here, and she said to me, she was like, "Oh, your scars are so cool on the back of your head. That looks awesome." And she was like, "It almost looks like a hairstyle or something." And I was like, "That's interesting." And yes, I mean, she literally like stopped to compliment me on how cool my scars looked. So it's all over the place. Ooh, I think my burger is here. All right. This restaurant has the prettiest waitresses. They're all gorgeous.
Thank you. Anything else I can get for you?
No, that's it.
All right,
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So, all right, on to the next thing. What was it? Oh, there's a comment that I got. This is one of the last comments too, and the guy said, "You're obsessive. You're not," like, you're talking about me and my hair. He said, "You're obsessive. You're not going to handle aging well." That was the comment, and I found that really strange because I don't feel obsessive at all about hair or hair transplants or whatever. I kind of almost could care less. I know that seems really strange. Like, why do you have a channel about hair transplants? And I'm going to get into that a little bit more, but it's definitely not something that I spend a lot of time personally thinking about, honestly, is my hair. It's something I spend, you know, to you guys, like, I look obsessive, right? Because if you watch this channel, all you ever hear me talking about is hair. Like, you don't see the other 23.5 hours in my day. So you think all I do is talk about hair and think about hair, document hair stuff, study hair stuff, but it really is not. It's just all you see. It's like one of the last things that I think about, honestly. Okay, so that brings me to the next thing, which is why get a hair transplant. And this is something I'm going to talk about in future videos as well, but I think this is one of the most important things that people don't talk about is the why and sort of the psychological aspect. Thanks, CHD. He said, "I can tell you aren't obsessive. You seem to have it grip together in life." Thanks, brother. Yeah, so that brings us to why get a hair transplant and sort of the psychological aspects of it. And I would almost venture to say that, you know, a lot of guys write me and they're like, they've gotten a hair transplant, but they don't want anyone to know. Like, they're really, I talked to a guy the other day, and his mother-in-law saw that his hair was growing in. He got a great hair transplant, looks incredible, a super good looking guy, successful, all this stuff. And we've been chatting on Instagram, and his mother-in-law asked him, he's like, "Hey, did you get a hair transplant? Because I can see your hairline looks like better." And he told me, he was like, "No," I like totally denied it. I was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. No, I didn't. I can't, you're crazy. I didn't get a hair transplant. And I kind of feel like if you are that scared of people finding out you had a hair transplant, then I don't think no matter how good your hair transplant is, it's not going to be a success. I don't think it'll be successful because you're actually sort of almost making the problem worse in a way, because you're creating something that you need to hide. You know, you're creating your own secret. So yeah, I think one of the biggest benefits to me of having a hair transplant and this whole process is actually becoming more comfortable with myself. I think that's one of the biggest things that you can benefit from going through this process, is actually learning to not care about what other people think, to go after something that you want, and actually almost not worry about its success. Like, you want it to be successful, and you should do everything that you can to try and make it successful. But it's kind of like, I don't know, pursuing music and thinking, if this song isn't a #1 hit, then I shouldn't pursue music. If this song isn't a #1 hit, then this was all a waste. Well, then probably you're not going to be successful in music, because the process of it is just as important, you know, and sort of what you learn from going through that process. So I feel like the reason that you do something is its potential of where it can sort of reach. So I think, like, okay, let's take learning Spanish. If you meet like a beautiful Hispanic girl, if you're straight, meet a beautiful Hispanic girl, and she's like the prettiest girl you've ever seen in your entire life, and she's got the most charming smile you've ever seen, and you go up and talk to her, and she doesn't speak English, and she writes on a piece of paper, "You're super hot. If you learn Spanish, I'll make you my boyfriend." Well, that you'll probably learn Spanish, right? Like, that's reason to learn Spanish. But if you're just like sitting at home and you're like, you know what, it'd be cool to learn Spanish, you're not going to learn how to speak Spanish, because you don't have a good reason. Like, oh, it'd be cool to do this is not a good reason, you know? And so I think it kind of has to do with hair transplants too. And if your sort of reasoning in your own head is right, then you will be successful. So I feel like this hair transplant that I just had, my reasoning for doing it was sort of, it was like, I can share this experience. I can look better. It's not going to cost me any money. And yeah, I can document it, and it'll be sort of good for, whoa, dropped it, for everyone involved. So like, the reasoning I think was good. So even if I only got like half growth, let's say only half my hairs grew from this transplant, like, I would sort of go like, oh, why is that? That's super weird. But I don't, like, I wouldn't be upset, you know? I don't think it wouldn't bother me that much. Oh, thanks, Erico. Said you look good already with a buzz cut. Yeah, I mean, I actually kind of dig my hair like this. I mean, I gotta be honest, like, and obviously I should have even more hair when this is all done, because a lot of the hairs fell out in the scabs, you know? So it should be even thicker than this. So I think if I got like some SMP there, I mean, I don't even need to, I could just have the scars. I mean, I don't care, but yeah, but if I really wanted to like cover it up or whatever and got some SMP or put some derm match back there, I think I could honestly rock the shaved head look, which is kind of cool. Might grow it out just like a little bit more than this, so it's just buzzed. But yeah, even if all your hair transplants died right now, you will still have hair you had before, which is pretty full enough. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel, Lily. Exactly. Have you ever heard of Feller and Bloxam? I'm going to them on the 17th. Yes, I have heard of them. I've watched some of their videos on YouTube. I don't really know that much about them other than that they have a YouTube channel. But I think they probably don't suck. I feel pretty confident saying that they don't suck, because most of the guys that have like popular YouTube channels about hair transplants, I don't think most of them suck. Even if they're, you know, who knows if they're the best or whatever, or in the top 10 or 20 surgeons, or I don't know how to categorize all that, but I think they probably don't suck. And anyway, if you're watching hair transplant videos like this, you're probably gonna have successful surgery. It's the people that just go jump on a plane to somewhere, or just go walk into some random office and go sign me up, and don't do any learning and consultations, and you know, those are the people that end up having, you know, surgery not go the way that they were thinking. SLB said, I watched your hair transplant video. 3 reasons why your hair transplant will fail. I still don't understand why it will fail. I guess go watch the video again. Jordan said that's what I hope to hear. Yeah, cool. That's good, man. Yeah, I don't think that they suck. Just here, okay, let me go to let you know this, okay? So here's the problem with like a lot of famous like not famous surgeons, but some famous surgeons. So this is the only thing I'll be careful about because I've heard this happening a couple of times. But as long as you don't do this, I think you'll be good. Is that once some surgeons become so famous, they have way too much work, and then they will start having like lesser surgeons doing the operations maybe at their clinic, but under sort of their name. So they'll tell you like, hey, yes, like come have surgery with us, but then it'll be somebody else who actually does the surgery. So, which it can be fine as long as if it's someone who's like worked there, I don't know, with them for many years, you might be okay. I'll give you an idea. It's like Dodge, who works at Dr. McGrath's office. He's been there like 5 years or so. And so there are some small parts of the surgery that he does now after being there for like 5 years. So that's not like a bait and switch type thing, you know? But I have talked to people who have gone like to get surgery done by some very famous, well-known surgeon. And then their consultation guys will go like, oh, well, such and such a guy is this much money, but you can get such and such a guy who is going to charge you less and he'll do it, you know, and he's still at the office and all that sort of thing. And they sort of sell them this like cheaper version of the surgery, and then it doesn't come out the way that they want. So just be careful with that kind of stuff. Hassan and Wong. Yeah, so Hassan and Wong just have a really good reputation. They have a great reputation. So they're definitely somebody that I was considering going to before my first surgery. And based on my surgeon and him going crazy and all that stuff, if you've ever heard me talk about that, like literally went crazy and was committed to a mental institution against his will shortly after doing my second surgery and lost his medical license and all kinds of stuff. So after that, that was all stuff that I couldn't have expected or planned. But now I wish I would have just paid more money and gone to Hassan and Wong.